Hi guys, my name is Stephanie and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel, and if you're new here, you're welcome. Please consider subscribing to join this family. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to sew this milkmaid top step by step. It's actually a detailed tutorial and very easy to understand as well. So if this is what you're interested in, please don't hesitate to like this video and also share it to anyone you know it to be of help to. Please keep watching till the end. So you're welcome back guys. So in this video I'm going to be making use of this flower fabric, this really beautiful flower fabric, to make the milkmaid crop top. And then I have these pattern papers that I'll be using to cut out everything. I actually drafted it before, so I'm going to link it in my description box, so please go check it. It's really a detailed tutorial on how to draft a milkmaid gown as well. So I will just be using the upper side to cut out the top, so follow along. And I also have other materials that I'll be making use of over the course of this project. So guys, I've actually gone ahead to fold my fabric into two, and then I place my pattern paper on it. So I'll be cutting half an inch round except for the upper side. So I actually want a ruffles at the upper side. Okay, so instead of adding the normal 1 inch to create casing for the elastic, I'm going to be adding extra 3 inches at the upper side. Okay, so I'm going to mark the 3 inches from the upper side all the way to the other side. But if you don't want the ruffles at the upper side, just leave an inch to create casing for the elastic instead of adding the 3 inches. But if you want the ruffles, just follow the same way I'm doing mine. So from the armhole as well, I will just connect it like that. So by the time I fold the 3 inches, it will go back to the normal measurement. So I'll add half an inch around the fabric. So guys, I'm actually done adding the half an inch round. So the next thing is that I'll go ahead and cut out everything now, from the upper side to the side and then the downside as well. So I'm actually done cutting out everything, as you can see. So from the upper side, by the time I fold it and take it down, I will just create a casing and then the ruffles will form at the upper side. So guys, I'll go ahead and cut the back piece now. I've already placed the pattern paper on the fabric, and then I'm minusing 6 inches. When I was drafting the pattern paper, I actually minus 6 inches at the upper side. So I'm going to be increasing it. Instead of like leaving it at the half length, which is 15 inches, I'm adding it to be a crop top instead. So I'll minus 6 inches and then take it all the way down to 18 inches. I actually want the top to be 18 inches in length, but because of folding allowance at the downside, I'll actually make it to be 19 inches instead. So I'll go ahead and mark the 19 inches to the other side. So after marking the length of the top, I'll go ahead and add half an inch around the top as well. And then I'll go ahead and cut out everything now with my scissors, starting from the sides, the upper side, and then the downside. So guys, for this zip side, you can actually cut it without adding the half an inch, since I already added 1.5 inch for zip allowance. Okay, so the adding of the half an inch is optional. Okay, if you don't want to add the half an inch, you will just cut it like that. So I'm done cutting out everything. So I will use this piece as a template to cut the second piece. So you see that I already have the second piece ready. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to be cutting the other piece as well. So I've actually gone ahead to place the pattern paper on the fabric. So this other side is actually supposed to face that side, but because I'm trying to manage the fabric to cut the piece, so I'll be joining the other side when I'm actually done. So if you have enough fabric, there is no need of joining it, just place it in the right way. Okay, so I'm adding extra 4 inches, which will complete for the top, and then I've added half an inch round. So I'll go ahead and cut out everything now. So you see that I am just confirming the 4 inches that I have, because the half length that I have is 15 inches, so 4 inches will complete to make it 19, because I cut the back piece 19 inches as well. So I'll just go ahead and cut out everything. So guys, I'm actually done cutting out everything, as you can see. And the next thing I'll be working on is the sleeve. So it's actually folded into 4. I have one sleeve at the other side and one at the other side, so it's folded into 4, making it to be 2 sleeves. so I'm just marking the length that I actually want. So the length I'm working with is actually 19 inches, but I'm adding extra inches to create a casing at the upper side for the elastic to pass through, and then to also fold the downside as well. So I'll go ahead and mark the 21 inches down, and then I'll mark it to this other side as well, and then draw a straight line to connect the both lines. And then I'll go ahead and cut it to make the sleeve to be straight. And I also go ahead and cut these rough edges at the upper side as well. And I also divide the side to make the two sleeve. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm done dividing it. So as you can see, I'll be keeping this aside to work on the upper pieces. So this is the upper piece. I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew about half an inch all the way. So guys, this is how it looks like when I was done sewing. I also iron it flat. So if you have enough fabric, there's no need of joining it, okay? You just cut it all together. And then the next thing is that I'm going to be working on this upper piece. I'll actually place my pattern paper to see where it's actually going to stop, and then I'll be folding it all the way down, just the same way you see in this video. So I'll actually sew it all the way to the other side, but before I do that, I'll just mark it with my chalk so I will know where I'm actually folding it to stop. And you see that I added half an inch round that will serve as my sewing allowance. Before I sew from the upper side, I'll just place it to the right sides facing each other, and then I'll sew it from down about half an inch and then stop at some point. I can leave 3 inches or 4 inches from the upper side. So guys, I'm actually done doing that, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'll actually fold it just a bit from the side, just the same way you see me doing, and then I will take it to my sewing machine and sew it all the way down and stop exactly where I actually stopped sewing at the downside, and then I'll do the same thing to the other side. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. As you can see, I'm actually done sewing it round, and then I also cross a stitch from where it's actually stopping. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to fold it into two, and then I'll bring my pattern paper and then place it on it to know where the folding is actually going to stop. So I'll fold it a bit at the upper side and then take it all the way down to where the pattern paper stop, where the chalk is actually marked, okay? And then I'll take it to my sewing machine and then sew it all the way to the other side. So guys, I'm actually done doing that, as you can see. So you see how everything is actually looking, and I've also gone ahead to mark where I'll be creating my elastic casing, okay? I marked from down where the down stitch stop to half an inch to mark it with my chalk. And then you see that I have half an inch. I'm just confirming it so that you guys will see, and then half an inch at the upper side that will actually form the ruffle at the upper side. So I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it. So guys, I'm actually done sewing it. As you can see, I'm actually done sewing from where I marked, and then I've also gone ahead to create these long ropes that will actually be going inside the casing that I just created, okay? So the length that I have here is about 26 inches. So I have two of the ropes, okay? It was 1 inch wide, so I folded it into two. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be using my safety pin to actually feed it in the space, okay? So you see that from the downside of these ropes, it's actually closed, okay? The one that is actually going to be out, and then this one is actually facing going towards my armhole, so there is no need of closing the side. So it's the side I'm actually going to be holding with a safety pin, and then I'll be using it to feed it inside. I'm actually feeding it in the second space, not the first space, okay? So guys, I'm actually done fixing it to the other side, so I'll do the same thing to this other side as well. So when I'm actually done, I'm going to be holding this side. I'll take it to my sewing machine and just hold this side with multiple stitches so that it doesn't escape inside, and then I'll do the same thing to this other side as well. So I'm actually done doing that, so I'm just drawing it to show you guys how the ruffles actually form, okay? So you see how it's actually looking. So this is how the ruffles will actually form when I'm done sewing the outfit, okay? But I've not actually made a loose stitch at the downside, so I'll just loosen it up. I'll lose it and then take it to my sewing machine and make loose stitch at the downside. I'll just take it to my sewing machine and make loose stitch and then make gathers. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I made a loose stitch and then I gather the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is that I'll bring the down piece and then I'll be placing with the right sides facing each other from the midpoint. So you see this part that is stitched, I'm actually going to be placing the upper side, the mid of the upper side from there. That's actually my midpoint. I'll place it just the same way you see me doing this video, and then I will actually arrange it to fit in the space, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and then sew it all the way to the other side. So I actually placed it and then it was not enough to reach at the upper side, so I'm just arranging it so that it will be able to fit in perfectly in this space. So after arranging it, I will take it to my sewing machine and then sew it all the way to the other side, and then I'll do the same thing to the other side as well. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm done sewing it round, as you can see in this video. So you see how it's actually looking from the right side. And the next thing is that I'll be working on the two back pieces. I'll actually be sewing at the upper side. I'll fold it 2 times and then take it to my sewing machine and sew it. I'll do the same thing to this other piece as well. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm done sewing the 2 sides, and I've also gone ahead to mark my zip allowance, so I'll just take it and sew it with a loose stitch. I'm actually done doing that as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be working on the sleeve. So I'll actually fold it a bit at the upper side and still take it down to create casing for the elastic band. I will do the same thing to the other piece at the upper side. Okay, I will sew it around. So for the downside, the elastic band is going to be up a bit, so I'll only be folding. I'll fold it down a bit and then sew it around. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. So you see that I folded the downside and then I created a casing for an elastic at the upper side for the 2 sleeves as well. So guys, this sleeve unfold is 13 inches, and if I open it up, it's going to be 26 inches, and then the length that I actually have after folding is about 19 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do at the downside is that I'm going to be marking 4 inches upward. That's actually where I'm going to be fixing the elastic band. So I'll mark it all the way to the other side, I'll turn it to the other side, and also mark the 4 inches as well. So after marking it, I've actually gone ahead to cut this piece of fabric that will actually go around the 2 sleeves. So it's as wide as 1.2 inches. So I'll be folding it the 2 sides just the same way you see, like this, and then I will place it like that. You can actually iron it to stay in place and then sew the 2 sides starting from the 4 inches. But if you're unable to iron it, you can actually follow this step that I'm actually doing as well. You will place it on the line and then sew it all the way to the other side and then flip it over, fold it in, sew it as well. So guys, I'm actually done sewing from the downside, so I flip it to the upper side. I iron it to stay in place, so I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew at the edge. And then for the upper side where the elastic is actually going to be, I'll place the armhole, my pattern paper, and then create the armhole and then use my scissors to cut it out. And then I'll be doing the same thing to the other piece of the sleeve as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be cutting the elastic that I'll be fixing for the sleeve. So for the upper side, I'm marking 8 inches. I'm actually making use of 8 inches. So I'll cut it and then cut the second one because I'm fixing 2 at the upper side and then 2 at the downside. So when I'm done, I'll also be measuring for the downside. I also went there to measure 8 inches as well. So I'll mark it, cut it, and then cut 2 of them for the 2 sleeves. So guys, I'm actually done cutting them. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be using my safety pin to feed in the elastic band, I'll start from the upper side. I'll actually feed it in just the same way you see me doing this video, and then when I'm done, I'll hold this side so that it doesn't escape inside the sleeve, and then when I take it out from this other side, I'll also hold it down as well. So guys, for this downside, I'll also be holding the elastic with my safety pin, and then I'll carefully take it in. I'll feed the elastic band inside the space. So from this side as well, when I take it in, I'll also hold it down to keep it in place, and then I'll take it all the way to the other side. So when I'm done, I'll also hold the other side as well. So guys, I'm actually done holding the two sides. So this is how the sleeve is actually looking, the upper side and the downside. And I also repeat the same process with this other sleeve as well. So guys, this is how the two sleeves are looking. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring my front piece, and then I will actually be sewing the sleeve. I will place the right side of the sleeve to the right side of the front piece, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and then hold it down. So guys, I'm actually done sewing it. So I'll just place my back piece on the front piece with the right sides facing each other, just the same way you see this video, and then I'll take the sleeve, place it with the right sides facing each other on the back piece, and then I'll also take it to my sewing machine and then sew it down. So when I'm done doing that, I'll repeat the same process with this other side as well. So guys, I'm actually done doing that for the two sides, just the same way you see. And then the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be folding the downside of the top. So I'll fold it at the downside by 1/2 inch, and then still fold it by 1/2 inch, and then take it to my sewing machine and sew it. And then I'll be repeating the same process with the two back sides as well. So guys, I'm actually done sewing the downside, the two back pieces as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be sewing the sides of the top. So I'll just turn it to the wrong side, place it, and then neatly arrange it. I'll arrange from the sleeve as well, just place it well. So when I'm done, I'll just divide my bust measurement by 2, and then I'll insert the measurement, and then divide my waist measurement by 2 as well. So I'll just take it and sew it the sides. So guys, like I said, I'll be dividing my bust measurement by 2. I'll just place it, sew the side, sew the other side. So when I'm done, I'll also fix my zip on the top as well. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. I'm done sewing the sides. I also turn it over to neatly give it a good press. I iron it, and then I also went ahead to fix the zip on the top. So you see that I've already fixed the zip. So I will zip it down and show you guys how it's looking. I actually fix it as an invisible zip. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also share it to anyone you know this tutorial will be of help to. So this is the final look of the top. So you see how beautiful the top actually turned out to be. So I will be wearing it. I'll actually put it on and show you guys the final look. So guys, this is how the top is actually looking like on me. It's so beautiful. It's actually turned out to be nice. This is how the back is looking. So I can actually adjust the sleeve to go up, and I can also take it down to be off shoulder, whichever one that I actually prefer. So thank you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.